All right, guys, what's up? It's your boy ChronicTurbo. Here we are with another vehicle. This is a 2025 BMW X2. This is the Xdrive28i, which is a compact luxury sports activity coupe. That's what BMW calls it. Perfect. I guess it's fine. Me, I really think it's just a small SUV, but that's what BMW calls it, sports activity coupe or sports activity vehicle. They have their own terminology for everything. This vehicle, upon first glance, I thought it was an EV because it kind of had like that styling to it, but it is pretty sporty. It does have the sport back design, and you're gonna see why I thought it was an EV once you get inside. Also, it's just the fact that the exhausts are not visible. That's another reason why I thought it was an EV. So I had to take a closer look. But total dimensions for the vehicle is 179.3 inches. Width is 72.6. Height is 62.6. Wheelbase is 106 inches, which is honestly not that large. It's not tiny per se, but it could fit in most parking spaces. I could definitely say that. You could fit this vehicle almost anywhere, which is actually a plus for me, if you ask, because, the world is becoming overcrowded. You need something, not everybody needs a Suburban or a Ram 1500, like right there. Now everybody wants to park one of those every day. So having something like this that can fit pretty much anywhere, that's absolutely perfect. Curb weight of this vehicle is 3,803 pounds. So it's a fat boy. But like I said, the size of it doesn't really get in the way of anything. So it's okay if it's a little bit heavy. It's not a race car. It's not meant for any of those things. I'm sorry, guys. Excuse the wind. I know it's blowing kind of heavy. I'm trying to put my back towards it right now to minimize the wind noise, but it's not helping too much. So I'm not going to stay out here too long. We're going to pop the trunk. We're going to talk the dimensions in there. Then we're going to pop the hood, talk specs of the engine, and then we're going to get inside, man. Here's your key fob right here. And as you can see, we got the trunk popped open. All right. Trunk space. 25.3 cubic inches of space in the trunk with the seats up. That's actually really good. Now, you do have this little cargo cover right here, which adds some privacy, and you might lose a little bit of space, but not much. I mean, you got to leave something for the window so you can look outside, because believe me when I say it, visibility out the back window is absolutely terrible in this vehicle. I've been driving it for a little while, and it is horrendous, to be honest. But nowadays, do you guys really look back much when you're driving? You guys are backing into your parking spaces, right? You're not just pulling forward in, right? At least I hope so. But we're going to go ahead, pop the hood. I'm going to show you the engine. I'll be right back. All right, here we are. This is the engine bay. As you can see, nice and tasteful BMW cover right there. Pretty tightly packed, as with a lot of BMWs. You don't have a ton of space to work unless you really know what you're doing, which I hope so if you're buying a, luxury vehicle, or at least have the money to hire someone that does know what they're doing to work under here. But you have a 2-liter BMW twin power turbo 4-cylinder engine. Horsepower is 241 horsepower at 4,500 RPMs. Torque, you only have 295 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 is in 6.2 seconds, so it's not going to, set the world on fire or anything like that, but it's enough to get out of its own way. Remember, I said it's a pretty heavy vehicle for its size. So those numbers and, it having a 6.2 0 to 60, it kind of adds up when you really think about it. It makes a ton of sense. Do have a 7-speed double clutch automatic transmission, and this does have the Xdrive all-wheel drive system in it as well, which is pretty nice. I'm going to go ahead and close that up. We're going to go ahead and hop in the back seat and show you what the leg room is like, what the space is like. Then we're going to hop up front, check out some of the materials that's going on, and we're going to end the video. Also, I want to point out 19-inch wide-spoke alloy rims. As you can see, it looks like a V to me, but wide-spoke, I guess, because you have these two little lines branching off. So, yeah, I could call it a Y. I'm cool with that. But let's go ahead and get inside and see what we're dealing with on the interior. All right, we are in the back seat. I'm sitting behind myself. Pretty tight squeeze. It is manageable. I mean, I have the man spread a little bit. Pretty much can't straighten my legs out or anything. You do have some vents right here as well. You know, USB Type-C ports. No pockets on the back of the seats, which is kind of a bummer, but you win some, you lose some. It's a nice looking vehicle as far as like the interior. The outside, I'm kind of mixed on it, but BMW has been making some interesting choices lately when it comes to the design cues on some of the vehicles. The new M4 and the M3 look absolutely amazing. Don't get me wrong on that. They're beautiful. It's just the rest of the lineup. They might need to go back to the drawing board on some of their cars. But door handles, nice. They are creaky. Plastic, that is plastic. On the pretty much this whole portion is plastic unless you get up here, which is soft touch right here. Still creaks. Not sure how sturdy that is. If you're a big and heavy person, don't lean on that too much. This is hard touch as well, but it does have a nice feel to it. Hard touch plastic. Not a very premium feeling door. I'm a little bit disappointed in the door quality of this vehicle. I understand it's supposed to be a budget-oriented BMW, but it's still a BMW at the end of the day. You know, get inside any Lexus and compare it, it's like night and day, to be honest. Because even on the cheaper Lexus, the materials, even if they use plastic, is more solid. This feels hollow. Feels hollow. It moves a lot. It creaks a ton. I don't really like it. I mean, this feels nice, but when everything else moving around, I'll be afraid to really rest on it too much. Now let's look at the armrest. It's decently soft. It's padded. Nice leather material. Cup holders, decent size. Fold that out the way. As far as space goes, small child right there. They have their own seat belt, and then you could fit another adult on the other side. Headroom. I ain't really got no headroom, to be honest, but it is what it is. Now we're going to go ahead. We're going to hop up front. Not much going on back here. I mean, black headliner, which I love. And then nice panoramic roof. Comes all the way to the back. So that is nice to see. It doesn't cover the entire back seat, but it kind of steps back here a little bit, which is okay. But look at that visibility, bro. That tiny window is all you have to look out the rear. Now you see what I'm talking about. We're going to see it even better when we go up front. All right. We are up front in this vehicle. 2025 BMW X2. This is the X28i. Not a huge vehicle. Do have decent leg room. I did not adjust the seat for when I was in the back. I am sitting pretty high right now, and I'm not sure why. Maybe I adjusted the seat wrong, but I am sitting pretty high. But I'm fine. My head's not touching anything, so that's cool. I'm 6'1", pretty big guy. I have a huge vest on, pockets full of everything, so I'm stuffed right now. Pause. All right. Your gear shifter is mounted right here in your center console. This is what made me think it was an EV. When I first got in, I saw this whole floating design. I said, the hell? This got to be an EV. There's no way. But then I look, there's this little portion connecting. So, I guess they found a way to make it work. Because typically EVs tend to have that space open because they don't have a typical drive shaft and a transmission, a gearbox. So it is cool to see they somehow made it work in a gas vehicle. Go ahead and pop this open. You have some storage in there. You can put like a Slim Jim or maybe a Snickers or something like that. I'm hungry. But let's go ahead and look under there. You have a ton of storage under here. I'm not sure what you will put down there. I mean, you can put a football. If you got kids that play sports or anything like that. A lot of storage in here. Is not lined with felt. Again, disappointed. BMW, what's going on? Close that back up. It is damped, so I give it a plus for that. Wireless charger. Pretty big wireless charger pad. It's huge, but like I said, everything is big now. So, phones are getting bigger. People are getting bigger. Everything's just getting bigger. Except for brains. Brains are getting smaller. But cup holders right here. USB Type-C down there as well. Now, control your volume here. Here's your hazards right there. You have your screens. It is that continuous glass, but they are two separate screens. When they're off, it does look like it's all one screen, but it's not. It's still nice to look at if you ask me. Go ahead and hit start. That engine fires right to life. Typical BMW engine, very responsive. This is not the quickest one in the world, being that the vehicle is pretty heavy for its size. And the engine is kind of underpowered for the weight of this vehicle, but that's not what this is built for. This is not an M. This is just standard X2. Soft touch material top. Really nice feeling. It has the white stitching going across. You have this chrome trim right here. Piano black, gloss black, fingerprint magnet, but you know, it's not picking up too much. But then again, I don't have greasy fingers, so I'm always washing something. Leather wrap steering wheel. Really nice feeling to the touch. Really nice looking steering wheel as well. BMW has some of the best steering wheels in the industry, so I'm always going to give them points for that. Same door materials as the rear, except for this portion is soft touch and the back is actually hard touch plastic. Still that creaky and flexy feeling. So do with that what you will. And there's the rear view mirror. Do you see how tiny that back mirror is? Like, let me imagine you're trying to see the cars behind you, and that's what you have to see. And then if you got big head ass kids, man, come on, man. You asking for it at that point. You finna crash. Straight up. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Roof does not open, but the shade does retract and go forward and everything. So I don't mind it not opening, to be honest, because it's too hot outside. I live in Florida. It is like hell right now. I mean, there is a cold front coming, but I'm not going to go off in a tangent on that. That's pretty much it for this vehicle. Let me know what you guys think. It's pretty basic as far as BMWs go, but I'm not going to bag on it. I love you guys. Please like, comment, sub, or follow, depending on where you're watching this, because I do post on TikTok as well. All right, peace.